She's been there, done that, and now she's set for the big leap. On Duologue Next, I discover how Sajan embodies the Dashabhuja, juggling many roles and acting them all with perfection. What is Dr. Sajan's prescription for breaking the ceiling without breaking bonds? Let's dive in. This is Duologue Next with me, Varun Das. Sana, good to see you and welcome to Duologue Next.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited for this conversation.
So I'll just set the context. Duologue Next, I always host women who are super achievers. But to my mind that they could achieve a lot more, and I think even they feel so. So it's a kind of a point of inflection that I try to find out in their professional life. And I'm inspired by the book of Marshall Goldsmith, the book which says that what got you here won't get you there. So I try and figure out the learnings of those super achievers and then try and figure out that what are they thinking about their career next.
I like how you start this conversation, although if it's about super achievers, I don't know what I'm doing here because there are miles literally to go before I sleep. And yeah, but you're right, there's a lot that I want to do and intend to do. So maybe there I might fit in.
Yes, absolutely. And I would also like to decipher the success secrets. And I must tell you what you achieved, where you are sitting now, what you do in your professional life. You are no less than a super achiever. At least in lesser mortals like me, we always think so. So how did the journey start? We'll quickly finish that off and come fast forward it to present time.
I would go back to my childhood. My uncle, he passed away recently. He was my dad's elder brother, and I used to just sit with him. He's my school of thought, and I used to ask him questions when I was 7 and 8 in that age group. And then I used to say, Abba Jani, why do I have these thoughts of changing the world and doing things? And I feel like I'm abnormal. So he asked me just one thing. He said, were you born a cow or a buffalo? I said, no. He's like, there is your answer. Because you were not born a cow or a buffalo, that's why you have these thoughts.
So you are so keen to find out the purpose of your life and creating a horizon for you, which is like vast in front of you at that tender age.
Yeah, if I look back, it is interesting to reflect that, yes, I was very young. And, you know, when I grew up, I reflected and I always think about this thought that he gave that cow or a buffalo also has another meaning to becoming just a mother. Although, you know, a lot of people might say becoming just a mother is not just. But for me, it held another meaning that you are not just born to breed. You are born to do more.
That's right. Breathing is part of your life.
It is one
Similarly,
of the parts.
So you're saying motherhood to your eyes is just part of being a woman.
Because, you know, I come from India, and India, we celebrate Devis, and they have 10 hands, and each hand has a different Shastra. I believe every woman is a Devi, and we can really, really shuffle between so many things and juggle, and we really can multitask, unlike men. So my belief is becoming a mother is one of them. But there is so much more.
That cannot be the
woman is
purpose of your life.
I can't say it cannot be, but for me, I felt that it is one of the things.
So how did the career span out for you? So your studies, how did you get into medicine? That's inspired by your dad.
Yeah, yes, that's true. I was inspired by my dad. And
you
know,
have
like,
some 35, 36, 37 doctors
wow,
in your
you've
family.
really done your research. But yes, my dad was one of the first doctors in our family and the city where we hail from. It is in UP, Rampur. And like any other girl, I used to look up to my dad, and he was one of these happy doctors, you know. So it was not fitting in the boring doctors category. So I always wanted to be that happy doctor. While my mom is also a PhD in Persian and she's also an artist. So I think I inherited both the traits. And while growing up, I was taking care of the science and art. And that's why I kind of have two careers in my hand, which are flourishing and developing by day.
Very nice. It's a unique confluence that you juggle with I think philanthropy, which is a key part of what you do, medicine, business, art, is for, I think a confluence of all four is what you stand for.
There is a Urdu sher. I will just say it here,
Yes.
but I will give you the meaning of it. It says, "Na keh ke ye bemiqdar hasrat dil hai, na keh ke ye bemiqdar hasrat dil hai, meri nigah mein hai jama kharch darya ka." Which means that don't call me spendthrift right now. My eyes have oceans to spend in future. So yes, it looks like that I do a lot of things, but there is so much more to do, and why not?
Brilliant, absolutely. It's an academic discussion. Have you ever come across this thought? Sometimes we were all told that unless and until you're focused, you possibly would not be as effective. So when you have many things on your plate, does it take away your focus from something specific? Or how do you sort of prioritize that? How do you distribute your time, mind space to various things that you're engaged with?
So there was an exercise I did with a group of women once, and I gave them a thali and a ball, and I just let them stand on their tippy toes and hold the ball and just sway. And I asked them to keep the ball in the middle. So they were trying to focus, but it was very hard. So I believe life is similar to that the ball keeps rolling, and life is a game of striking that balance all the time.
Right. So what you need to do is that you know your competence, you know where you can add value. Then you have right people to do things. You have right team. I think
For
you
sure.
always emphasize on the
biggest
right
asset of a leader would be the team.
team. That's right.
You
Absolutely.
find the right people who will be able to conduct your thought process the way you want, and then add on top of it to you. But yes, your priorities is about also managing your time.
That is according to me is one of the biggest success secrets, and that is one of the drawbacks that I've seen in people, and I dare say that I've seen that mostly in women professionals, because you said there are 10 hands, you people are dasa bhujas, 10 hands, Devi. So conveniently I think men feel that a lot can be imposed on you. So like you give birth to a baby, so we feel that it's in your rights and entitlement that you raise them.
We just take it with a flair. We just do it so well. What to do? We don't make you feel. It is, I would say it is a strength, but it is at the same time, we can sometimes make it into a weakness because we put a lot on our shoulders and we don't manage it well.
Not managing is a different thing, but it's not a fair share of labor. If you take so much on your shoulder. Like I say that a typical career woman is actually dealing with 3 full-fledged career. One is your profession, one raising the kid, one handling the family.
And we should not forget raising your husband.
Yeah, that's part of the family. I think that's one of the most depleting tasks. Right.
If you manage it well, it's very easy.
So you're saying that when you're into one thing, your 100% is there.
Yeah.
Then you move on to
need to be in the moment.
You need to be in the moment, and then you move on. But again, you touched it upon that time management becomes very, very important. And I say, there are a few things that I live by, which are my own coinage. And I say that living more is living longer, and doing more is living more.
I like that.
So if you have 1 hour in your hand, and if you plan well, which is time management, you can do a lot more in that 1 hour compared to if you're not planned, you just appear and deal with the things.
So I like what you said, when you can do more in that 1 hour.
That's right.
So it is, when you're saying you, I would like to, put something into this you. Your team is also you. So when you bring in delegation along with time management, you are able to execute way more and more effectively. You sometimes are just born with the fire in you. And if you're born with that fire, do you want it to dwindle away and waste yourself into darkness? Or you want it to thrive and become bigger, better, and light around you? So I feel that there are people who are born with that light and fire in them. And probably I am one of them, and I like to meet people who have that, and then you get together and get something bigger out of that as a synergy. And I'm glad that I'm married into a family like that, because they like to find and spot talents into whoever is around them, and then they multiply it for that person.
No wonder they're doing so well.
Yeah.
So your schedule pretty much fits in around your commitment towards your kids and family?
My kids for sure are one of the biggest priorities.
So the people around women, which are the men, I think it is the minimum expectation from them. They understand women.
Just empowerment, it doesn't mean that you have a job and you can earn your own money, for example. That is a very big thing.
That is a very basic level of empowerment.
Yeah. My son came in and he's like, "Mommy, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm making food for your daddy today." He's like, "But why you? You're a girl." And that moment, I was like, okay, yes, I have accomplished something, because he thinks that only men can cook.
Now, so this restlessness of yours that you say, typically what's a day like for you?
Typically, what is a day like? So I wake up early because I want to go wake up my kids for their school, get them ready. So there are 3 of them. So 2 boys, they're together. And then once they're ready and off to their breakfast table, I go to my daughter because she wakes up a little later, half an hour. And then I wake her up, put her on the breakfast table, send them off to school, come back to wake up my husband. And then we get ready.
The 4th kid.
And then we get ready and, get together with our dadi and mom, dad for a quick breakfast. And if there is any update, daily we have some discussion. We have that update or some fun or laugh, and then we say, okay, goodbye, and then we are all off to work. And once the work is complete for me, usually after 5, I start ticking in my head, because that's when my kids are free, because they are done with their school and they're also done with their extracurricular activities. So as a mother, my mother starts talking in my head after 5 o'clock, and I rush back home, and then I spend that time with the kids. I play with them and whatever activity I want to do. And by the time it's 7:30, Adil is about to come home. Usually he comes like 7:30. So that half an hour which we get, which is from 7:30 to 8, because kids sleep at 8, and I'm very army-like in my time. If this is to be done at this time, it is done. So we all respect that. We make sure that half an hour is real quality time with daddy and mommy and the kids, and they have a good time, and then they are off to sleep, and after that we are off to party. Because the social life is also important. You have friends who look up to you, who want you to be a part of their happiness and difficult times, if there are any, hopefully not. But yeah, we're there for our friends as well.
Is it fair to say that, so your schedule pretty much fits in around your commitment towards your kids and family?
My kids for sure are
Priority.
One of the biggest priorities. Emotionally, they are my top priority, but otherwise, my husband, my parents-in-law, my parents, my kids, this is family-wise. And then there is also, if I go to career, then it has another window, right? So they're all different priorities. So I want to do justice when I am with the kids, and I want to, put my day plan in such a way that everyone gets that justice.
So it's, as again, repeatedly you're saying, if planning well, manage your time well, you can pack in as much as you can.
Yes.
Like in my case, I keep saying that, as you said, delegation, like we now have 7 channels.
Yeah.
And I always feel that you add another 70 channels, I can still run it, because you have
with
to
the
have
right people.
Yeah, it always has to be the right people, because as a leader, there's hardly anything that we do. And I keep saying that as a leader, there are only 3 things, and the list is more or less exhaustive for me. That we take decisions, because that's the buck stop at us. Then we manage people. So finally you manage people. Management is nothing but manage people. And the third is you need to guide them. You need to add value to their work when they're stuck. So otherwise you don't command that respect.
Correct. So for me, for example, kids, I have my activities which are planned, but I'm blessed that I have a good team of nannies which are helping me. And when they say it takes a village to raise them, for real, it takes a village to raise them. And I'm really glad that they do have that exposure, that we are 4 generations living in our house. Besides that, we have a lot of help in different areas of the house, which also gives them that exposure.
While you're completely dedicated and 200% committed to your responsibilities, and it comes to you from within your heart, it's not a burden for you. But at the same time, you take out time for yourself to rejuvenate yourself, to refuel yourself, whether it's reading the book or partying, which is so-called partying, your way of partying. So that I believe is very important.
Yeah.
And is that something that you would like to communicate to young women or the women that you deal with? It's consciously you tell them to adopt this?
For sure, I do. I like to live by the fact that I don't like to complain.
You know, this complaint thing, I put it this way. I have a terrible habit of putting things in some kind of a theory or a formula. So I always believe, and I live by that belief, that at any point in time in your life, you are exercising a choice, right? And therefore, anything happening now is as per your choice.
Yeah, and the thing is, it is very easy to go down that spiral because it's human and we are human, and I live in active mode. So if there is something going which is against my liking, how much can I brood upon it and can I fix it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if I say that don't complain, eliminate it.
Yeah.
Who asked you to stay with it?
Correct.
Just eliminate it and move forward.
So my thought here is, there is a problem, you find a solution, but girls who have that fire in them, sometimes they just want to talk about it, लेकिन वो बहुत छोटी होती हैं कभी-कभी उम्र में. उनके पास, they don't have all the tools to solve that, which probably I was when I was in my teens. So in that time, I had a diary, and I still have that. I have a few journals, and one of them, I used to list all the things that I want to do. And so far, I think I might have completed 90% of those things, because from that mind and age bracket, what I could think, I was writing it down, and I used to accomplish those bucket list things with time. I always tell those little girls when I meet them in schools or in colleges who have that little fire in them, that wait and keep this as one of the things, and don't let it perish as a thought. You will accomplish it one day.
So the people around women, which are the men, I think it is the minimum expectation from them. They understand women, because that's going to happen. That's happening every month, every 28 days. So why getting surprised every time? And then I don't feel complicated. I feel delicate, and anything precious becomes delicate. Like the diamond that you're wearing is far more delicate than the stable. So that needs far greater care. So that's the way I think women also should feel. And I think they should demand that. What's their fair share? Sometimes women, I feel, they're too accommodative, too apologetic. I don't think that they're doing good to themselves.
I agree. This is a segment where we can look into. So certain women, which I am in together with, they are not coming in that segment. So these questions comes a lot with that part of the women, that, Sana, you keep talking about women empowerment. Look at us, we're all empowered women. But the thing is, we are not talking about you, girl. We're talking about a very large segment of women who do need empowerment. And empowerment comes in different shapes and sizes and faces. Just empowerment, it doesn't mean that you have a job and you can earn your own money, for example. That is a very big thing.
That is a very basic level of empowerment.
Yeah, but there is so much more and layers to it.
Absolutely. The world's oldest democracy still doesn't have a woman head of states. So there's a lot to cover. Therefore, everybody needs to work on it. And to my mind, those women are the primary target audience who should understand that women empowerment is a very, very important stuff.
Very, very critical.
Because if they don't understand, their daughters won't understand, and so on and so forth.
And the sons. We must not forget the sons.
Absolutely.
For me, for example, my two boys, I have to make sure not just my daughter has to be empowered, but my sons need to know that they need to empower women around them, while being empowered themselves. It is about having that balance, because men don't need to be disempowered on that, if that's the right word here, but at the same time, you need to empower women around you. So one of the moments I felt that I have done a good job so far is that one day it was a nice weekend, and I was cooking biryani for my family, and my son came in and he's like, "Mommy, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm making food for your daddy today." He's like, "But why you? You're a girl." And that moment, I was like, okay, yes, I have accomplished something, because he thinks that only men can cook. So this is a very contradictory thing to a general viewpoint of kids, where only mummies are seen cooking, even in advertisements and even in cartoons and their mindset. So that moment is when I felt that I am in the right direction.
So
with
why
my children.
your cook at home is a guy?
They are male, yeah.
I often have a problem with the concept of tradition, because I believe that many things, if tradition has not evolved, that cannot be relevant today.
The ones which need to evolve maybe with time.
I would
Certain traditions are very beautiful.
So that's where it's very difficult to theorize. Then it comes subjectivity.
Yeah.
You're saying that certain, so which certain?
Yeah.
So I say that every tradition will need to evolve to be relevant today.
Correct.
I personally do not accept anything as tradition blindly, that you can't make me do that.
That's true.
Right. So
I like
now,
that.
Thank
we
you.
need to sit longer than this. This conversation is not enough.
All right.
One of the things that I'm engaged with right now is called Join the Planet. It is an initiative by Lionel Messi, and we are working very closely with him.
Are there not bucket lists? Are there unfulfilled dreams? Are there dreams being cherished?
In Hinduism as well, there are different stages of life, right? Where you have the brahmacharya and then you have...
Banprasya, sannyas.
Yes. So sannyas is not yet destined for me.
So now, coming back where you are now, and then where do you want to go? Are there not bucket lists? Are there unfulfilled dreams? Are there dreams being cherished, nurtured, and being prepared? You're taking guard, and you're going for the next big leap?
So I like where I stand today, because recently I've had a little time to be able to reflect on to what I have done in my life. But now I'm also looking at a very big, ocean to be covered, literally ocean, because it's just so vast, because now it's not just me, but also my family along with me. And in family, I'm supporting my father-in-law and emotionally supporting my mother-in-law, my husband, and my kids, who I have to bring them with the right values to make them right kind of human beings according to at least whatever knowledge I have, while making them successful and happy with themselves and content. It's such a challenging task, but it will come with time. At the same time, I am always a believer, wherever you stand in the moment, you need to have two emotions. One is contentment and one is ambition. So I'm very content with whatever I have achieved, if I have achieved anything, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
So I get it that the whole thing, the whole being of yours is very entangled with your family, with the people around. But anything that you want to do beyond that, any big leap that you wish to take beyond that?
Yes, you're
because
right.
the life is short, right? And
You're
with
right.
every passing day.
Oh, it is so short. It's
very
just surprisingly short. And one of the things that I'm engaged with right now is called Join the Planet. It is an initiative by Lionel Messi, and we are working very closely with him. While he has initiated this, where we are clearing up the world of plastics and recycling them and creating memorabilia out of it, and also generating some money out of it and then reinvesting it into the people who are, NGOs around the world. So we've connected with the top kings or queens or the presidents and prime ministers of a few nations at the moment, so that they can cascade it towards the nation, whichever countries they are associated with. That's one of the biggest things that I'm really, really glad that I am associated with, and I want it to become as big as possible, because plastic is something which is really one of the biggest pollutants, and It is something that's going to stay for really many years.
Awareness is needed. So you have defined what you want. The gray area is that what you want to do for yourself as a professional. So you have taken the larger causes in your hand, the society at large, the family at large. But at the end of it, at the center of that concentric circle sits you. I'm sure that you'll figure that out very soon.
Have you seen this movie, the Kung Fu Panda?
Yep.
Have you seen the third part of it? I think it's the third one.
I haven't seen.
Where he actually evolves into, when he goes into a yin yang and he's rotating, and then he becomes a ball of fire, which is like light.
Yes.
So that yin yang, and so I think it was 10 years ago where I was in a mental state of mind where I would have shaved my head and gone to Dharamsala.
Just before you got married, right?
Just before I got married.
Yeah.
And then Adil just came and swept me off that. And in that moment, I realized that in my head, I am already there. Because I was just, in those 15, 20 days, it was going to happen. I was really going to go, right? And then life literally happened, and now the babies and all the love and the work and everything is happening. So I told myself, I'm that monk who did not sell her Ferrari, right? And I don't have to, because in Hinduism as well, there are different stages of life, right? Where you have the brahmacharya and then you have...
Banprastya, sannyas.
Yes. So sannyas is not yet destined for me, and mentally, even if I'm detached and completely there, but I need to cover this part.
So
and rightfully
very,
so.
very, very glad to hear that, and I'm sure that the kind of clarity that you have, that solution or the direction would surface soon in your mind.
Yeah.
And as you said that you let it simmer, and you're actually living what you say. So let it simmer.
Yeah.
It'll emerge, and I'm sure that you would reach greater heights going forward. As far as you're concerned, you've been a great woman in the family. You've been a great citizen in the society.
Thank
but
you.
I'm sure for yourself also something greater is
And
waiting
coming
up there.
back to the light of the yin yang, we all need to have that light in us and radiate it to the people around us. कभी-कभी आप अपनी खुशी बांटते हैं तो दूसरे भी खुश होते हैं, और आप अपनी रोशनी बांटते हैं तो दूसरे की जिंदगी में भी रोशनी आती है. So I believe that it is important to spread that happiness what you have, and I am in that state of mind.
Sana, it has been an amazing experience of it, you. But I don't think we are done.
This is not done.
This is not done because there are a lot of mutual learning. I'm sure that with my age and experience, I could add to your learning, and I'm very much sure that the same is true for you. I wish to learn many things about life and profession and success from you. We'll take it up off stage sometime.
I'm really looking forward to that, and thank you for having me here.
Thanks a lot, sir.